Hello YouTubers, this is Pid TMS and welcome back to our Star Citizen Let's Play in Alpha 3.8. Today we're going to take some time to run down to Hurston. You can see I'm orbiting Hurston at the orbital space station. We're going to go down to Lorville, check out what the prices are in the rental shop for a ship, see how much a prospector costs per day in game, and then we're going to that way know how much we need to save up from our errands that we're going to be running around, delivery missions or mercenary or those types of missions to try and earn some money so that we can do that. So hopefully we can get that accomplished today and show you a little bit around the verse in the process. Alright everyone, we're going to retrieve our ship here again. I had a little issue a little bit ago with the ship retrieval process in that I went over here and the ship was missing as far as though it was blown up or something. So I don't recall in the last episode us losing our ship, so a little odd to see that it was gone. So I will retrieve it here now that I've put in a claim and it's enough time has spanned. And we will go down to pad 3, pick up our ship, and then head down to Lorville. So if you're not familiar, if you happen to lose your ship at some point during your play, or you're in another section of space and you left your ship docked at another area, you can actually file a claim. Currently they're free, so all you have to do is log into a terminal, click file claim, and then wait a certain amount of time. If you do want it quicker, you can shorten that time by paying a fee, but the times are usually around 15 minutes or less, so generally you can just, bide your time. Alright, there is our Titan. You can see we're going to be heading right down to Hurston. Might help if we shut the door after we come in. Don't want any stowaways. Alright. Flight ready the ship. Again, I'm using Game Glass application on a tablet. Alternatively, you could just look around with your inner thought and find flight ready.
Landing gear retracted.
Alright, so the easiest way to find where we want to go is to actually pretend that we're going to go into quantum travel, and that brings up all of the possible waypoints that we would have where we want to travel, so we can look around in that way. This will give us the opportunity to find where these waypoints are, and then once we're pointed in the right direction, we can just head right down to that area. Now, typically, the large landing areas have a different type of icon. Usually, yeah, they look like a home plate in baseball. So in this case, we're actually far enough away that we can quantum travel close to it. And that'll zoom us around the planet real quick, so we'll go ahead and do that. And that's just a lot quicker than trying to travel there at base speeds. So we did happen to pick a time when Lorville is on the dark side, so it's night there. Just be careful flying in, because there is a small designated area where you can actually land. See, it pops up that you're near a restricted area. So as you get closer, you'll be able to open the communications tab and then request landing, and then it'll give you a little wrench icon, and then that'll at least let you know where you have to go. So we're going to speed up this entry with a little bit of a time lapse here to get in close and land, and then we're going to wander through Lorville to try and see if we can find where the rental station is, so we can get some prices to figure out how much money we're going to need to get to rent a prospector. I think the first thing I want to do as part of this Let's Play is do some mining to gain some money that way, and renting the ship is a lot cheaper than buying it, and it's quite a bit lower risk than hauling commodities and that sort of thing. So I think with the little bit of an overhaul that they did for mining, it seems to be a little bit more lucrative than it was historically. Alright, so what you want to do is make sure you're inside all of those TISA spaceport signs before you start heading down, and then head right towards your wrench icon. If you hit T, you can actually turn on your lights. They're not very useful until you get close to your landing zone, and then as you come in, it's sometimes a little difficult to land in these small landing spots, so it can be easier if you get an outside view of your ship. And you have shields, so it's a little bit forgiving, but yeah, once you get down in, get close enough and then hold down N and you can auto land. Alright folks, I'm back. I had a little bit of an issue with crashing. Got stuck and couldn't get out, so I flew back down to Lorville, and now I am right where I'm picking right back up where we left off. So let's get out of our ship and head back to see if we can find the ship rental place. I always get twisted around in these hangars trying to figure out where the actual gate is. It's clearly not there, on the other side. So it says, it's one that says arrivals next to it. So there's actually two shops in TISA Spaceport. One is for buying ships, which we clearly are not going to have enough Alpha UAC to do that for quite some time. And there's also a place for renting ships. So you can conveniently located. The ship rental place is right here when you get off of the elevator from your hangar. If you should happen to have enough credits, you could go to a new deal over here and buy a ship outright. So we're just going to look at the ship rentals to get an idea of what we want to do. So come over here to this terminal, and it will give you an idea of what you need to save for. So ship rentals, in this case we're going to look at a MISC Prospector. This is the mining ship. So in order to rent the ship for 1 day in game, it will cost 41,000 alpha UAC credits. Clearly we're a little short there, but you can rent it for periods of time up to 30 days, in which case it'll cost you 772,000 alpha UAC. So to actually outright buy the ship is quite a bit more expensive. We can check that too. So again, 30-day rental is 772,000, 1 day rental 41,000. If we go over here and look at the ship at a new deal, we'll see that it's quite a bit more expensive. But if you can manage to acquire the money that's needed to buy the ship outright, then it'll be in your inventory and you won't have to worry about renting it. So here's the Prospector itself. I mean, you can log into this terminal here, but it's right here. So if we were to buy the ship outright, it would cost us 2,061,000 credits. So quite a big difference. I think there's only one other time in the game I've actually had close to that much as far as credits go, and that was when I was doing a lot of hauling when the commodities weren't quite as limited as they are at the moment. But so anyway, that gives us something to shoot for. So what we're going to do is then run some missions to try and save up for 40,000 credits worth to be able to rent that ship. Alright, so let's get back into our ship, which was at Hangar 8, I believe. And then we'll see what kind of missions we can pick up. So it's definitely a pretty nice mechanic to be able to rent the ships. Clearly, it'll take a real long time to be able to save up to buy them. But this way it gives you the opportunity to get a little bit more of a lucrative job or profession or whatever you want to call it, so that you can save up to buy the ships you want. For real.
Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
Okay, folks, we're going to head out here and see what kind of missions we can pick up. So we're going to contact station. Please let us out. And then they're opening the bay.
Landing gear retracted.
Ooh. Right, put it on cruise control and just take a quick look around, make sure we're heading the right direction. So the servers are acting a little screwy today, so our mileage may vary. In any event, I was looking at the missions that we could do, and we did a delivery mission last time, so I was thinking we could do something along the lines of mercenary mission. These ones, I believe, have some first-person shooter elements to them, which we're not really prepared for, seeing as how all we have is really poor armor and a sidearm. So what we can do is grab one of these halt illegal surveillance missions. I mean, they don't pay a ton, but if we do a couple of these, we'll be able to get some money together and buy some better armor and maybe a submachine gun or an assault rifle or something like that. So what we're going to do is accept this one. And we're tracking that, so we can go right over to this map, and it is on this comm array, so we will set the route there. And then head off in that direction. So destroy monitors, spool our quantum drive, and head right on over. You can see my frame rate's dropping quite a bit, so yeah, servers are a little wonky today. I think the CIG folks will be getting back from their Christmas holiday and hopefully reboot the servers so they're a little bit more reliable. But in the meantime, hopefully we can get a mission or two in and then call it a day. Alright, so what we need to do is get close to the station, and that should update our quest. Right, so what it's going to tell us to do is destroy 3 monitors, and what we need to do for that is we actually have to scan for them. So there's the first one. So these little guys, you need to get close to them and actually blow them up. Difficulty when you're in scanning mode is you can't actually see how fast you're moving, so hard to change speeds. So as soon as we tag this one, the other 2 will know we're here and it'll start a countdown timer. In which case we only have a limited time to get all 3. See, there's another one, so we'll just stay on course for this one. Need to get in close enough here without actually running into it would be desirable, and then these things actually take a fair amount of beating. I think we picked up some friends.
Proximity alert. Head. Proximity alert overhead.
So now I need to find that last one and avoid getting blown up in the process. think we have a little bit of time here. If we don't black out, maybe take this guy out in the process.
Proximity alert. End. Kill.
Which these cutlasses actually have a decent amount of ordnance on them that our little ship has a. If they get on us, they can do a fair amount of damage to us.
Kill.
Alright, now we need to find that last one. Wherever it might be. Oh, is that it? Or, nope, there it is. Okay, great.
Contact.
So hopefully what we can do is, yeah, avoid getting blown up and take out this guy.
Proximity alert. End. Proximity alert port.
Running into it is not the ideal way to take it out, mind you.
Proximity alert. End. Rear shield down.
There we go. Alright. That thing's beat up pretty good, but I think we got hit pretty good in the process, so we're gonna try and run away because we have no rear shields. So just a quick look. Yeah, you can actually see that our ship got dinged up pretty good there. So that's actually going to cost us some money to repair, which is kind of unfortunate because we're trying to make money in the process. But hopefully we took out a couple of ships that'll give us some money in that regard. But it is going to cost us some money to repair. So what we shall do is we will go back towards Hurston, and we will actually try and go to the station so we don't have to set down. And then we can repair from there. Hopefully they didn't blow up my quantum drive and be stuck out here forever. Okay, so now that we're actually in for a landing, I had a little trouble finding where the wrench was. There's a little bit of a bug sometimes with repairing and refueling your ship. But from what I've gathered, if you come in close to where you could engage your auto land, and don't actually land, but just hover over the space, it seems to work better. So you can see this little endeavor is going to cost us a little bit of money. So it's about 500 credits just to repair the ship. And from what I've gathered too, that you don't want to do them all together because sometimes that makes life difficult as well. But I think you can do all these three together.
Hydrogen fuel at 100%. Hydrogen fuel at 100%. Hydrogen fuel.
Yeah, and when you refuel, it completely just yells at you that your fuel's at 100%. So until you get it to 99, it'll keep talking to you. So based on what we accomplished, we did go out and we did get a few credits. We netted a few credits ahead of where we were. So I think if we string a few of these missions together, we can buy some more armor, buy another or a better sidearm or a better gun anyway, and then we can go and maybe tackle some of those other missions. Okay folks, so this mission actually looks interesting. It's 5,000 credits. It's not the same as these surveillance ones, but it is eliminating a threat in this area. So bound to be some combat in space, which I think is okay for us. So let's go ahead and accept this one. And then we'll see where that goes. Where will that take us? Oops. So it's still a little buggy, but you get the idea. Try this again.
Hey, you're here for patrol, right? Great. Hang out for a sec. We'll get going shortly.
Okay.
Quick outline of how this is going to work. I send you the patrol points. You check out each of those points while I monitor from here. Anyone takes a shot, you handle it.
Alright, let's try this again. I don't know why it seems so noisy in that cluster of debris. I think when it says to stop, I'm just going to stop this time.
Any contacts, weapons free.
one down. What else we got? M50. We shouldn't have too much armament on them. They're only a little tiny ship.
Proximity alert.
Whoa. In case you're wondering, Alt-1 will target the nearest hostile.
Contact. Proximity alert. Hit.
Definitely something useful.
Proximity alert. Hit.
Oh, where'd he go? Just like disappeared out of my sight.
Proximity alert. Hit.
Now, I'm curious if you get double bonus for killing these guys. Oh, there's Nine Tails.
Proximity alert. Hit. Proximity alert. Hit. Proximity alert. Hit. Kill.
I'm gonna put this on cruise for a second to see if I'm making money killing those things. Yeah, at least the Nine Tails I did. I don't think the mission ones don't count, but I think that Nine Tails kind of came out of nowhere. But battling an M50 in this ship, not so bad. It's quite a bit more maneuverable than this ship, but it doesn't have that much of an armament.
Contact.
Probably a little too far away to actually shoot at it at this point, but I'll just shoot at it with lasers that way. Oh, he just kind of sat there. That was underwhelming. Not sure how many rounds. I should actually check. Let's see. Guns not available. Well, that's interesting. Considering I'm using them, I think I have them.
Contact.
Dino Souza. He looks like a, or sounds like a shady criminal. Now when the pip is highlighting like that, supposedly you're actually hitting them. So This has a gimbal assist on it, so weapons are to some extent auto aiming, as long as you're kind of in that circle. Which, for my purposes, I'm using a mouse and keyboard. It makes life easier.
Proximity alert. Hit. Kill.
So yeah, we're not making any money off the enemies that are spawned by the mission. Not sure how many of these there are.
Contact.
Over at Feinstein. However you want to call it.
Proximity alert. Hit.
What I want to avoid doing is the jousting, but I don't know how terribly easy it is to not do that when you're mouse and keyboarding it. Alright, so there we go. That was that mission. Eliminated hostiles. And awarded 5,000 Alpha UEC. So just like that. Well on our way to bulking up. I mean, we're a quarter of a way of what we need for a day in the Prospector. I don't think we're going to do that quite yet, but, you know, string a few of these missions together and you'll be able to get, you know, whatever ship you want to move on to in pretty short order. So again, you know, and this is kind of a disjointed Let's Play today, and the servers were giving us a little bit of grief, but we've essentially established, you know, some other types of missions that we can do. In this particular ship, we had some mercenary missions where we're actually fighting. The last episode we showed that you can do some delivery missions in the ship, and we kind of have a target of what we want to do as far as getting our Prospector ship so we can do some mining and in that regard. So I think, you know, it was a little bit of a disjointed episode, but all things considered, we've made some progress. You know, I think we'll run a few more of these missions off camera, and then by next time we'll have enough money that we can go get some more armor, and then maybe look at running some of the other missions that have a first-person shooter element to them. So thanks for bearing with me through this episode. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching as always, but this is Pid TMS signing off.